it seems as though they went to counseling. I don't know why they went to counseling. Hell, because at the end of the day, they not together. It was to make Chris feel better, I guess. Who knows? They said that they thought about moving in together. Like, hey sis, you gotta know when to hold him, when to fold him, sis. Don't hold him, fold his motherfucking ass, okay? Hello party people, welcome back to my channel. This is Being Simone Iman. I am Simone Iman, and if you're new here, welcome. I do a little bit of everything, you guys. My channel is my personal diary. Sometimes it's reviews on my favorite television show at the time. Sometimes it's product hauls and reviews. It's whatever I'm feeling. So if you're into those types of things, or if you're feeling my vibe, because I'm so vibey, then go ahead and hit the subscription button, and then also hit the notification bell so you know anytime I upload a video. Today we will be discussing my favorite reality show probably of all time, Married at First Sight, season 12 in Atlanta, y'all. This is review part 1. What y'all thought? First, I will say I do enjoy Kevin Frazier as the host. It's something about his assertiveness, his energy. You know, he understands the assignments. He asks the questions that the people want to know. He doesn't fumble or stumble his words. Like, Kevin Frazier is really underrated in the journalism, because I think he does ET, either ET or Inside Edition. He's underrated. I don't know, but I enjoy him. I think he's the right man for the job. Like I said, he gets it. He gets the assignment. First of all, the fashions. They must have hired stylists for the group because they looked good. The only person I didn't like what they had on was Virginia. I didn't like the whole flapper, stringy. It was giving Fashion Nova boohoo vibes. I wasn't feeling it. Not for a married woman. Loved. Brianna always understands the assignment as well. Okay, I loved her entire look. I loved her straw set, or if it was a rod set, it was banging. Shout out to Vinny with the suavemente. Did y'all see Vinny with the hair? I thought it was a toupee. I thought it was a little Bejing. He was giving a little pass to Dwight, but he said that's his real hair on his social media. Who else? Ryan. I like Ryan's quirky look. I think it's very stylish. I like the retro vibe. Clara always looks nice. It looks like Clara had hair extensions, and they all just look good. I think they hired a stylist for the reunion. Let's see. We're gonna start with Eric and Virginia. So of course Eric and Virginia are still married. They played their highlight reel, and I didn't realize, I think I did comment, maybe as I'm saying it, I did comment on how much they kissed when they first met each other, and it was COVID outside, but they were getting tested. They end up showing that they almost didn't make it to their wedding day because Virginia had a false positive COVID test. Child, the way Virginia be snacking out of them beer bottles and beer cans, baby. And she's so into her friend group, I wouldn't be surprised if Virginia did have COVID, okay? Their highlight reel was great until they start talking about Virginia and her social life. Eric says that he doesn't like the way that he came across on camera, because he came off as a jerk, straight up, like no other way around it. He was controlling, a jerk. Him continually telling her if she didn't like it, she could leave. Like, it didn't look good. And I'm glad, you know, he said that was kind of like a self-therapy for him, because he realized how the way that he delivered messages, the way that he speaks to Virginia, is probably not the best. And it wasn't. You looked at horrible. It was given verbally abusive on the way. Kevin Frazier, he asked the questions we want to know. He asked them where did they live, and she moved into the condo. She's taken over the guest room, which I think is weird, but the cats live there. And in all, we found out that Eric is a liar. He is not allergic to cats, y'all. He don't like cats. He is not allergic. If these cats is living in his house and he ain't damn near dying, or if he ain't have to go get a pharmacy grade prescription, not over the counter drugs, but from your doctor prescribed medication to treat his allergies for cats, he's full of shit. And he thought it was so cute doing the the fake sneeze. No, you look like a liar. And then you notice he changed his verbiage. He said he's slightly allergic to cats. No, it was like you was drawing a line in the sand when they went to Hilton Head, that he was just so allergic to these damn cats. Kevin then says that his commentary was that they both went into decision day knowing they were going to stay married, and Virginia had a huge eyebrow lift. Kevin asked Virginia about the partying and the drinking, and she says that she doesn't have an issue. She says she actually talked about partying and drinking more than she actually does it. And that could have been, you know, y'all, they chopped down months and weeks of footage into 4 hours every 2 weeks. Like, it could be the editing, but she did give them something to edit. She do give party girl vibes. Eric says that it's barely an issue with her going out and that they have an understanding. Kevin asks about Eric and him being controlling, and Virginia says she used the wrong word. It was a lot of backpedaling. And not just with this couple. Like, they saw themselves on camera and what they said about one another when one another wasn't around, or maybe in the heat of an argument, and then they're like, oh no, I love you now, we're still married, we stayed together, that's not what I meant. That's absolutely what she meant. She didn't use the wrong word. It was the right word, sis. Take it from me. They had a lot of weird shifty eye contact when they were discussing their differences. I didn't like it. For me, I don't like that when Virginia is expressing how she feels, she looks back at him. It's almost as if she's looking at him for approval. I don't like it. It's weird. Like, oh, I can't say the wrong thing. Where was Eric on January 6th, y'all? Anyway, they bring on his mom, and I think that Virginia and his mom kind of look alike. And she said that his brother got married 2 weeks after him. Damn, there was a lot of COVID weddings. She's the first parent to ever be on the reunion, and she has all nice things to say about Virginia, and it's happily ever after for them. I hope it works out. And then we get to Clara and Ryan, and of course they're still married. I really like Ryan's mustache. I think it's a cute look for him. He's a different kind of guy. His vibe, I like style, you know, and everybody's style does not have to be the same. I like it for him. It's quirky. Their highlight reel is really cute until they start talking about the lack of intimacy. Obviously, they're living together at Ryan's home. Kevin asks about children and raising them in the church, and they're both just not there. They're like, look, we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do. Ryan trying to figure out how he gonna get her to come to altar call. Okay? How he gonna get her to give her life back to the Lord. He'll worry about bringing the children that don't exist to church later. I feel him on that. They are planning another wedding, which I think is so yes, Clara, I do believe if I were in that situation, I would absolutely have a real wedding with my family and my friends, especially because they had to have a COVID safe wedding to begin with, on top of Married at First Sight wedding. I think it's a great idea, and I've watched a few seasons of Married at First Sight, and I've never seen another couple say that they were planning a new wedding. They replay her telling him that he got 6 months to say I love you. And do you know that this dude still ain't told this girl he loves her? Y'all, okay, so y'all watched just like I watched, so we know that Kevin Frazier do what he was supposed to do. He gave what it was supposed to give as a host, and he got Ryan to come out and say that he loves Clara. It was a moment, don't get me wrong, but she was like, oh, you love me? And he was like, y'all. But he did say, I love you, and then ultimately, I love my wife. But, I mean, I guess him reserving that for being asked by someone like the host on the reunion show, and they've been married damn near a year now. Like, I guess it was a moment. I don't know. Y'all drop it in the comments to tell me what y'all think. she says that she's known for a while that he loves her, and she understands that he loves her by the things that he does, like filling up her gas tank and taking care of Miska, her dog, so well. And then they start talking about sex, y'all, and I called this from the beginning. And even Clara has said this before on camera. He does not want to talk about sex on film, on camera, so they don't talk about sex on camera. She had one hot mic moment where they showed her being frustrated when she talked to the girls. Ryan was super mature and understanding. Those are her feelings. I understand why she feels the way she felt. She didn't out me on her interview talking headpiece. She thought she was having a private moment, and y'all pulled out the stops and had surveillance cameras. It was giving Bolo at the South Carolina bachelorette party on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, y'all wasn't supposed to see that. It was giving those vibes. So he didn't hold that against her. He understands, but they're not talking about having sex on camera. Even when Kevin Frazier asked, they're like, oh, I don't know if I did, if I didn't. Kevin asks if, you know, they've had sex, and he says whatever he says, and he's like, hi mom. That's the whole thing. He doesn't want his parents congregation talking about him having sex, and the fact that he said it on TV. That's always been the issue. I like their commentary at the end about how they both came from whole homes. You know, both their parents have been married for decades. They've seen it. That way they can model it with each other, and I think that's one of the most positive things that I can take away from their situation, that anyone can take away from their situation. For those of us who have children, those of us who are married, those of us who are engaged to be married, it's really important to model that for your children as best you can. If it's healthy, model that for your children, because they're more likely to keep that going in their adult lives. Is that something they're interested in? Marriage, family, children. And it just, you know, it's nothing but a benefit to the community. So congratulations, Clara and Ryan, with the stash. Who we got next, child? Brianna and Vincent? Yes, Brianna and Vincent. Of course, they're still married. Hey, Strawset. Brianna is beautiful, you guys. She looks like Princess Tiana. She is just like Disney princess, gorgeous. Vincent is a handsome young man as well, but he hit the jackpot with Brianna. She is just gorgeous. Her smile, she just has a sunny disposition, but she's genuine and real. We stand you, Brianna girl. We stand you. Their highlight reel was the absolute best until it got real. Until it got real Vincent of you, baby, when he spilled that champagne on the floor, and then they start showing all his things that didn't need to be highlighted reels. They say that they have learned to accommodate each other and compromise, and that they're both staying at Vinny's place for now in Buckhead, and that his place is smaller, so it's more intimate, and they're constantly around each other, and they're really having to adapt to being so close with one another and so constantly. She started to head down the wrong road when she was talking about, I can't always have a bed made. I can't always have all the dishes washed all the time, because he was going to say, you're making me look messy. Don't say that. But she kind of pulled it back and was like, but he does put the dishes in the dishwasher. She learned that her man while she earned her man, okay? Kevin asks about them going to the Dominican Republic, and they say they are, and that they're planning on buying a condo. He asks about their families and how well their families are getting along, and they say that their families just click and they get along really well, which is a huge deal, especially because, you know, they have a cultural difference. So I think that that's great. They start talking about the future and the kids, and their birth control is whatever happens, which I think is same, sis. Okay, that's how I got 2 in 3 years. They also talk about the fact that they've kind of switched positions on it. Whereas she wanted to wait a little longer, he was ready to do it right away. They took care of his nephew for a time, and it kind of switched. Now she's ready. She has baby fever, and he like, nah, shawty. We can chill for a little while longer. She says that Oh, Kevin asked about the fact that Brianna is a black female engineer, and Vinny talks about how proud he is of his wife, how proud he is to tell people that his wife is an engineer, and how, you know, she is a model and testament to the culture, that if that's what you want to do, then you can go for it. And I think that's great. And then they start talking about his issues with embarrassment, and when he offered his explanation, I felt that wholeheartedly. He says he has anxiety and he was worried about how he would look on television, so he never wanted to be embarrassed. He never wanted to be his best self, and when he was caught in those moments, he just got those feelings, and then he becomes defensive and mean, and you know, he gets all Vinny with it. I love the footage of the Coach Vincent's boot camp. It was so cute. It was hilarious, and he actually laughed at himself, which I love. And then they end with her doing her little pop quiz on the Spanish phrases and terms, and it was just chef's kiss. It's beautiful. We love this love story. Kevin mentioned how, you know, fans were comparing them to Woody and Amani, and they are absolutely the Woody and Amani of this season. It's beautiful black love, and I loved it. I'm gonna go through this whole girl segment thing real quick. One, because I'm sour because I don't have a girl tribe, but I'm working on that. They say that they find that they have a sisterhood unlike any other season. They replay all the footage from like their first meetings and interactions, their bachelorette parties, their conversations about sex, and then Haley gets her moment to rag on Jacob, and you know, she takes it. She says that he has blocked her on everything, as he should. What you want to be friends with him for? You ain't want to be friends with him when you was married to him. I don't remember any of the other fluff, but I do remember them starting to talk about Paige and her issues and what she went through with Chris. And Paige said she had a wedding and a funeral on the same day, child. She ain't never lied. They all defended her. They were all such good girlfriends. Clara told the absolute truth. She said that he's obviously been doing this. Like, this has been working for him. He is used to doing this to women. Paige is just another woman that he's pulled this bullshit on. And she wasn't constantly coming back to him. He was coming back for her. Sis, yes, you ain't never lied. The girls went to Mexico without Clara, unfortunately. And it looks like they had a great girls trip. Like I said, I'm envious. I'm hating. They looked so drunk in that footage. And I want to be drunk in Mexico on a yacht at sunset with my girlfriends. I really need to work on that. Doom, doom, doom. Y'all, Chris and Paige. One thing I can say about Chris is there is like raw footage Chris that we saw most of the season. And then there is Chris's representative. When he has prepared himself for the moment, when he sat down with Mercedes and Paige, like those first 2 minutes, that was his representative. Decision day, that was his representative. In the beginning of his conversation with Kevin Frazier at their reunion, that was Chris's representative. That's not really Chris. Kevin asks if this is their first time seeing each other, and they say no, that they actually went to counseling. And it seems as though they went to counseling. I don't know why they went to counseling, hell. Because at the end of the day, they not together. It was to make Chris feel better, I guess. Who knows? They said that they thought about moving in together. Like, hey, sis, you gotta know when to hold him, when to fold him, sis. Don't hold him. Fold his motherfucking ass, okay? As Kevin is asking Chris all these questions, like if he wants to be with her, if he would be with her if he could, I'm glad Paige pumped the brakes on that. She's like, you know, all of this is geared towards him. This was a mutual thing. I don't think that we were meant to be with each other. You weren't. Great decision, sis, and this is the perfect time to speak up, because they're making it seem like he was the prize. I ain't like that about what Kevin said. He not the prize. He's the problem, okay? Then they play the footage of him saying that he is unattracted to her face and asked him to explain it. I don't know who produced this show, but I'm gonna put it on the network Lifetime. I don't like that. I thought that was ugly. Y'all chose violence. What page needs to see that for? Because I'm pretty sure that aired. I'm thinking we saw that episode 8, 9, somewhere in there. No. Later than that, like 13, 14, somewhere in there we saw that. Paige ain't need to see that. that was too much. I ain't like that. I ain't like that at all. She said hearing that was devastating and it broke her spirit. Of course, I don't care what you look like. You could be Naomi Campbell, okay, Mariah Carey. That shit'll hurt any woman's feelings. Kevin asked what he would say to her family and other black women about the things that he said to her, and if he give his best representative speech, honey. And Kevin tells him those are media trained answers. Kevin asks about sex and they both don't want to talk about it, which I get. Like, let's move past that. It was a poor decision on both their part, but mainly Paige, because he don't even like your face, but he like your Jesus. And then Kevin asks about Chris and when he first knew that Mercedes was pregnant. He says he didn't know until they wedding day. I don't buy it. Kevin asks if he was still in love with Mercedes and he didn't want to answer. Kevin asks about Mercedes and her Mercedes and he didn't want to talk about that either. A car is a car. Child, bye. Kevin asks about Pastor Dwight. Child, and then Pastor Bejing popped up on the scene. Y'all, Lifetime is choosing balance, and they finna get balance with Chris and Paige. Child, Paige look like what the when Pastor Dwight pops up. Paige stands by the fact that she doesn't believe that Mercedes was pregnant, and they show that B-roll footage, and Pastor Dwight really was going too far telling all of Chris' business. And see, I hate to give Chris any validation, but I felt where he was coming from. If Pastor Dwight met with Paige and never talked to Chris about it, that's a problem. I don't like that. Child, I don't like that. Kevin pulled a Jenny Jones, child. Pastor Dwight came from behind that screen and sat down in that chair, and you could just see it all in Chris' face and his body language. He wasn't feeling it. Pastor Dwight then says, you know, once he sits down and they start talking about his relationship with Chris, he says he loves Chris. Okay, how? Chris is the type of person only a mother could love, and maybe not even her. Pastor Dwight said that he tried to advise Chris a lot and he wasn't receptive, and that's why he pulled back from Chris. And Chris explains his beef. Like I said, I get it. He talked to Paige behind Chris' back. He got camera time behind Chris' back. I think that's a big part of it too. He's ego driven. I'm your connect. You and y'all, if you ever had a little bit of street sense in you, you know you don't go around the plug to get to the direct connect. It's just not cool. Again, Paige's spirit is broken. Child, I want her to stop saying that. Spirit broken. You gotta stop letting these niggas break your spirit so easily. They beef ain't got shit to do with you. That don't break my spirit. Get your popcorn, sis. Pastor Dwight says that Chris doesn't like correction, and that's when Chris lost it. The cuss words started flying. Baby, he wanted us to see that red bottom. He started jacking up them pants and pulling his legs up. It was just too much, child. Who cusses a pastor? Child, we been knew his mom and daddy wasn't nothing, but god damn. The immaturity that Chris had described of himself when the episode first began, that's the exact immaturity that we saw displayed once Pastor Dwight broke out on scene. It was immature. Immature, uncalled for, ugly, disastrous, nasty, not worth a damn. What else I could come up with? Leave it in the comments. It was horrible. Like, Chris, you gotta do better, bro. You almost made it. You cut your hair. You had your nice little ASO suit on with your red bottoms. I don't know, y'all. Anyway, next week we'll get to further see the temper tantrum that is Chris Williams II. And we'll get to see Jacob, my best friend, and hopefully Haley don't dog him out too bad, because I think that's the only couple we left off with. And then I think we'll see all the couples together. Either way, you know, Lifetime is milking it with this COVID production. We got another episode to watch. Drop down in the comments, y'all. Let me know if y'all watch Unmatchables. I don't know. It's not about the name. I don't like it. Uncrustables. I don't like it. I haven't watched an episode, but if y'all say it's good, I might watch it. Please be sure to like this video. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what you thought. And I will see y'all next week. Also, next season is in Houston. If y'all ain't know, now you know. That's where I live. So let me know if that's something y'all interested in reviewing. Enough with the let me knows. Bye y'all.